Today we're going to talk about 5 different ways to split wood for your wood stove or your fireplace. And we're going to talk about when is the best time to do that. Now these are the tools that you're going to need to split wood. You don't need every one of them. You want to pick the one that works the best for you and your situation. Let's start. You need a pair of gloves to protect those hands. An axe. Good sharp blade, narrow profile, long handle, something that fits comfortably in your hands. This is called a maul. Looks like an axe, but it's a lot heavier. This one is 8 pounds. It's the one I prefer. You can pick a smaller maul. It's called an axe maul. They're both called axe mauls. This is about 5 pounds. You're going to want to have a sledgehammer like this. You pound on your maul if you need to, or pound on your axe. It's another tool. This is called a wedge. You lay it on the log and you pound on it with your sledgehammer. And finally, there's a grenade. That's what they call it. Pointy end, some people call it a cone, but if you look at the end of it, it has a bunch of different segments. Put it in the center of the log and pound it down to split your wood. Now there's one more tool we haven't talked about. That's behind me on my right here. That's a log splitter. Ours is hydraulic. It hooks up to our tractor. Those are the different ways you could use to split wood. Let's show you how each one of these works. Okay, before we get started on our project today, let's talk a little bit about where and when to split our wood. The where is you need an open area where you can chop freely, where your axe or your maul is not going to hit something. Chips are going to fly when you split wood, so keep away from windows. Now, in terms of when to split wood, I like to do it in late summer or this time of year, early winter. Why? Because it gives me a whole season after the wood has been split for it to season, so it'll be ready next year come winter. Now, the last thing about timing is the types of wood you're going to use. Hardwoods, like oak like this, I find are a hell of a lot easier to split when they're wet. When they dry out, they get hard. Much more difficult to split. When you're splitting a softwood like a fir or a pine, let it dry out, then get to work on it. You'll find it a lot easier to split than when it's green. Now I've always used a maul like this, a maul axe to split my wood. I like the 8-pounder. And I always start by putting my wood on an old round, so it brings it up off the ground a little bit, makes it easier for the swing when I'm hoisting that maul. So this one involves just pure force of the weight of the maul. But sometimes even that doesn't work. That's where the sledgehammer comes in. Get a hold of your maul that's stuck in the wood and use sometimes it doesn't work very easily. That's how your sledgehammer can help a maul when it gets stuck in a really thick piece of wood. When you get to be an old fart like me, this stuff can wear you out. I'm good for about an hour and a half, and then I'm toast. You may want to try an easier way or a different approach to splitting your wood, so let's go to Plan B. Plan B involves our old friend the axe. Much lighter to swing, very sharp blade, narrow profile. And it also involves our sledgehammer. Now, the idea here is instead of trying to split the wood with brute force with the axe, you drive the axe down and so it hits right at the edge of the wood that you're trying to split. That's step one. Like that. That's not a lot of work. Then you take the sledge and you just tap the wood. And bingo. You've got a split piece of wood. If you don't like Plan B, try Plan C. That is, instead of having to use an axe, you use something a little cheaper. You buy yourself a wedge. This looks like the blade of an axe, blunt end on the end, and you drive it into your wood that you want to split, and then you use your sledge again, and you just tap it into wood. And you split your wood. Finally, there's the grenade. The grenade looks like a cone. Got a bunch of different edges on the end. You set the grenade the point of the grenade right in the center ring of your log that you want to split. Tap it in. Grenade, you just whack it. And the idea is it's going to split it in several pieces. This doesn't always happen, particularly if you have knot holes that are going to constrict your splitting process. But let's give it a try. Well, it split the wood anyway and drove it right into the next piece. That's how a grenade works. Get the right piece of wood, you may get 3 or 4 pieces instead of 1. It's the advantage. Well, we've talked about everything except the elephant in the room, or in this case, in the barn. That's a log splitter. Now you can get gasoline-powered log splitters, hydraulic log splitters. This is a hydraulic log splitter. It attaches to our tractor. It works very slowly, but it's got a tremendous amount of power. All you have to do is take your log, set it in the slot here, get your tractor going. You can see the blade here, advance forward and split your wood for you. This is your control lever over here to advance that blade and do the split. So you bring it in, let it split, reverse it, take it back out again, remove your wood. Takes about 20 seconds for each split. I find it a little slow. And frankly, I really appreciate the exercise that I get splitting my wood by hand. But these are your choices. It's up to you. I hope you found this helpful. Thanks for watching Off the Grid, and we'll see you on our next episode.